right, sometimes you just can't explain baseball, but really anything can happen any given night. The Worcester Bravehearts haven't had their best season, at least statistically or in the standings, over their course of their 4 years, but they made the playoffs on the final day of the regular season, knocked out the Dirt Dogs in a playoff game, win or go home, and now tonight have an opportunity to sweep the Brockton Rocks, the #1 team in the FCBL, in Swingtown in the semifinals. Let's take you out there. The Bravehearts came in force in a fan bus, ready to go. Gordy Cook was there, Molly was there, everybody's on hand. Bravehearts ready to go, but bottom first, Brockton's Chris Barry blasting off. 2-run home run for the Rocks, and they take a 2-0 lead right out of the gate. Bravehearts starter was Sean Mellon, comes back with a strikeout to end the first. Top second, Worcester would answer. Rafael Bornegal, base hit. Dante Ricciardi comes on to score. Bravehearts getting a little two-out bingo there. It's 2-1. Then it's Greg Kaczynski just mashing the ball, going oppo. Nick Santucci scores. Brian Hart scores. They're going to wave home Bornegal. Play at the plate. He is out. But Worcester takes a 3-2 lead. Bottom second, the Rocks' Ricky Smith with a gapper. It is deep. Long run for duty out there in center. Kyle Peterson's going to score all the way from first. Ties the game at 3. Smith winds up on third with a triple. Sam Cochran then falls with a fly ball down the left field line. Santucci's down there, makes the grab and foul ground. Smith scores easily, 4-3 Brockton. The Worcester Bats, though, come alive, and they back up their pitching staff with 13 runs on 14 hits tonight. Worcester wins 13-8. They're playing Nashua in the championship series starting tomorrow in Worcester, and their manager, even before tonight's game, said pitching and defense a big key for us, and maybe that's how we'll get rolling again.
I think when we've played good defense and we've got solid pitching, we've been a very good team. When we get a little bit shaky, we kick it around a little bit. When we pile mistakes up, it can get ugly. And fortunately, down the stretch here, we've played well enough to win, enough to get in the tournament. It starts on the mound, and I think our pitching depth is in good shape for a little bit of a run. Offensively, we've sort of been Jekyll and Hyde, but I'm hoping that we can scratch enough runs across to give us a chance to win.
All right, the pitching, they do have a lot of depth. More on that later this week. But the Bravehearts have a home game in Worcester Friday night. Championship Series, 4th time in 4 years. All right, the boys down in North Carolina, post 397, getting that win today, early this morning, behind Matt Stansky's 10-inning complete game. 5 strikeouts for Stansky. He was perfect through 4 1/3. He didn't allow a hit through 6+ innings in this game. And some offensive standouts included Adam Twitchell and Jack Gardner. The boys, they play again tomorrow night against a team from Nevada, but they are 1-0 in pool play. Now, their manager and their team has always said pitching is a key. Pitching and defense wins championships. It's what's helped them so far.
Oh, my God, best pitching in the state. Best pitching in the region, actually, obviously. And I think best pitching in the country, starting with this Bulldog right here. You know, we got 6 dudes that I'll give the ball to any game.
Pitching staff has been unbelievable. We've picked up the bats a lot this year. Our pitchers have bailed us out, and they've come up huge for us.
Having someone in each game is like, you know, as a pitcher, you don't have to go that day if they have you going. So say your arm's hurting, you don't have to go. You always have someone else that can do just as good, and I mean, that's perfect as a pitcher.
All right, now, word is Matt Stansky did a post-game interview today, still had his shirt on, so that's a positive. He did pitch and throw a lot of pitches today, so good job for the boys. They play again tomorrow night. All right, to football news and Boston College, featuring a lot of locals on their roster. Chris Lindstrom's a junior, figures to be one of the leaders on their offensive line. He is huge, has grown leaps and bounds since coming from high school at Shepherd Hill, and he figures to be a leader even more so now because he's got a little brother in the room. Alec Lindstrom joining Chris on the Heights this year, playing offensive line at Boston College. The two guys helping each other out and hoping to help Boston College to some more wins this year.
I mean, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity getting to play with your brother in college. I mean, a lot of guys get to do it in high school, and then
playing with him at this level is just unbelievable. And going through the experience that he's going through now from when I mid-yeared, it's very similar, and so I'm helping him out just with the experiences that he's going through and just working through it and having a good time.
Just when I have a question, they're right there for me, where if I'm like having a problem with something, I feel confident going up to them because I already knew them and I wasn't scared. So that was probably the biggest thing about it. If I had a question about the offense or anything, they'd help me out. If I had a question on what I was doing, they'd help me out, and it was easier to get along with everyone coming in because I already knew them.
All right, Alec Lindstrom says he started at BC and he started mid-year at 230 pounds. He's 265 now. Chris was in like the mid-200s when he started. He's 310, 312 pounds right now, playing right tackle for Boston College. Big dudes there. And, you know, their dad went to BU, played football, said he'd never wear Boston College gear. And the word is from the boys that Big Chris is wearing a little bit of Boston College stuff. Maybe won't wear a hat, but he's rooting the Eagles, and now he's wearing some Eagles gear as well.
Family support.
Family first, right?
Everybody's on the field as family. It's awesome. They get to play together.
Yeah, and you know what, having a blast. And Alec, you know, we'll see how he goes in this season, but I mean, they could redshirt him. He could be bigger and bigger and bigger. He's an outstanding offensive lineman. Those two guys could both play at the next level.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's our show tonight. For Andy Lacombe, I'm Catherine Andrioli. Thanks for watching Worcester News Tonight.